Good evening, and welcome to the Tweaks County Board of Education meeting. Thank you to our in-person and online communities and stakeholders for joining us this evening. It is my pleasure to call the Tweaks County Board of Education meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. The time is now 6:04 in the evening. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. At this time, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Move that motion.
Motion's been properly made by Ms. Blackshear. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye, raising your hand if you approve the motion. Again, this motion is to approve our agenda for tonight's meeting. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? No opposes. That motion carries unanimously. All right. At this time, board members, I ask for approval of the minutes from our April 19th, 2022 BOE call session.
I'll make that motion.
Motion has been properly made by Ms. Stokes. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by District 3, Ms. Rhonda King. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye, raising your hand if you approve the motion to approve our BOE call session on April 19th, 2022. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? That motion carries unanimously. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our April 26th, 2022 BOE work session.
So moved.
Motion has been properly made by Ms. King. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Blackshear. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye, raising your hand if you approve this motion. Aye. Any opposes? That motion carries unanimously. At this time, I'll ask Ms. Blackshear, our District 2 and our State Delegate, District 12, to give us an ethics statement for this evening.
Thank you. In accordance with regulations set forth by the Georgia Ethics Commission, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflict of interest or interest of such conflict. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest scheduled before us or appearing on our proposed agenda? Seeing none, Mr. Chair, we'll proceed with our agenda.
Thank you, Madam Blackshear. At this time, I'll open up the floor and give the opportunity starting with District 1. Mr. Ross, if you have any board comments or remarks.
No, sir.
Thank you. Any other board members have any comments or remarks to the community this evening? Seeing none, Dr. Bullard, thank you for your comments and remarks as you present them before us this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, board members.
Good
and
evening.
to all of our community members that are in the boardroom with us on tonight and those that are with us virtually. I do want to look back on last week and tell all of our teachers another happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We have a contingency of teachers in the room, and we want to tell them again, happy Teachers Appreciation Week. We hope that you had a wonderful week and felt appreciated and supported and loved. I want to thank this Board of Education for starting and kicking it off with a payday on Friday, and Governor Kemp really gave you a real payday over the weekend. And then they came back even and gave you a wonderful breakfast, and we just celebrated you all week. You mean everything to this school district. You are where the rubber meets the road. It is what you do in that classroom that matters the most, and we recognize that, and we love and support you. I want to focus our parents again on the high school, working on their Georgia milestones in the course assessments this week. Parents, make sure you ensure that your students are getting good night rest and good breakfast prior to coming to school. Today was the first day of testing for our high school students. They focused on American literature and the writing portion and algebra. Tomorrow, they'll focus on section 2 and 3 of American literature and algebra. So we want them to be successful. They have another assessment on this coming Thursday. So students, we know that you are prepared and we know you're ready. So do your very best. And I'll close my comments tonight by focusing us on the 2022 graduation ceremony, which is coming up on Friday, May the 27th at 7 p.m. in the Twiggs County High School football stadium. I want to focus everybody's attention on that because we're going to start the graduation ceremonies on time at 7. We'll have one entry point to the high school, and that will be through the JES parking lot. All of the other street accesses to the high school will be closed. So it's important that you plan to be there on time. We're going to open up the gates to the high school at 5 p.m. So there'll be a 2-hour window for all parents, community members, loved ones to get there and get inside of the stadium. We'll close the stadium so that everybody can enjoy the ceremony undisturbed at 7. We will close the stadium. There will be COVID checkpoints at JES, and we want everyone to get there on time. So please make sure you mark your calendars. Go ahead and let your friends and your bosses and everybody know that you need to leave work a little early on that Friday so that we can be in place and we can have a very dignified ceremony as we have had in the past and celebrate our graduates on this wonderful accomplishment. Thank you again, community. Thank you, board chair, for giving me a chance to share these announcements.
Thank you, Dr. Bullard. We've heard the superintendent's comments and remarks, so no one can say they did not know. Govern yourselves accordingly as we have a lot of festivities and celebrations going on in our district, and we want you to support us as always. Well, we have a heavy agenda tonight as always, and we're going to move expeditiously to make sure that, well, we'll move expeditiously. Business agenda item A, review of first year information item. This is an information item here presented by our superintendent, Dr. Mac Bullard, as he gives us an overview of his first year in the great Twiggs County and the wonderful Twiggs County Public School District. Dr. Bullard.
Mr. Chair, it is my pleasure. Mr. Vice Chair, board members, community members, it is my pleasure to share a wonderful experience for my first year here in Twiggs County. And what I'm going to share with you tonight is just a snapshot. It's a quick run through of some of the goals and the progress that we've made, our milestones, and what is yet to come. April 1 was my first day as superintendent in this great school district, and it has been a fantastic 12 months. And I am grateful to have been selected to be your leader of your education department here in Twiggs County. Of course, we are a school district with a vision, and that is to generate excellence, one team, one goal. And we accomplish that by every day inspiring, challenging, and preparing all of our students to compete globally. This presentation is going to focus on 4 areas, starting with the 90-day entry plan that we started with when I came on board in April. We'll then talk about the community engagement that went forward after that point, the milestones that we've accomplished, and what's next, what's going to start and happen in this school year with the leadership of this great board, this senior cabinet, leadership of this district, great teachers and community. Again, our 90-day entry plan. It started with a focus on doing exactly what our mission says, which is to inspire, challenge, and prepare. It was a 90-day plan from April 1 through July 1. And in that plan, the focus of that plan was to provide stakeholders an opportunity to meet and engage with me, and me an opportunity to engage with them. We wanted to review and understand those critical areas in our school system and hear from the community what they felt we were doing well and what they felt we needed to work on to improve. Also, we wanted to continue to deliver, even though we had a new school superintendent. We knew we needed to continue to deliver on our promise to inspire, challenge, and prepare our students to compete globally. And of course, we always want to be transparent in everything that we do. We began and scheduled, I had an opportunity to meet our great PR and communications director, and she said, Dr. Bullard, why don't you go to the community? You want to meet them, why don't you just go to the, I said, that's an awesome idea. Thank you, Ms. Timms, for that great idea. And we scheduled a tour through the entire county from May through July. And those are the locations where we had our community town hall meetings. We started with D.D. Memorial Baptist Church. Then we went from D.D. Memorial to Mount Zion Baptist, then from Mount Zion Baptist to Stone Creek, from Stone Creek to the Senior Citizen Center here in District 1, and then we ended our town hall tour at Old Marion Baptist Church. When I say to you that it was an outpour of success, we had full rooms in every location that we attended. The community came out, had an opportunity to engage. We had key focus questions that we asked, and the community gave us feedback and input with the questions that we placed on the table. Not only did we talk to the community, we talked with teachers at the elementary school, the middle school, the high school. We talked with students at the elementary, the middle, and high to hear what they felt things were going well, what things they felt we could improve on, the way that they felt welcomed at school, the things that they felt that they wanted to see our school do better. We listened. What you see there, you all know, maybe you all don't know. I take a lot of notes. I take a lot of notes. And what you see there is an example of the notes that were taken during those town hall meetings. Pages and pages and pages of notes. And it is those notes, those recommendations, those ideas, those heartfelt feelings, those thoughts and input that we utilize to move us forward in this school year and to chart our course in the development of our strategic plan as well. Here are some of our milestones. We heard over and over again. Improved communication. We loved when the board meetings began to go virtual. We kept it virtual. It's virtual now. We're going to continue with that practice. They wanted to know what was going on in the community, so we started with a weekly bulletin from the superintendent. I didn't think it was wise to write it. People have cell phones now. They have laptops. They have Surface notebooks. They get the messages quicker when you do it virtually. So we do those. We do our best to try to do those every week. We don't go 2 weeks without doing a weekly bulletin. And we make sure that the voices of our board, the voices of the leadership in our schools, our website, our principals are on the website. We're communicating what's going on in the district and in the schools. That's a practice that our community said they wanted us to continue and continue to enhance. We also heard over and over again, we want to make sure we have the best and the brightest and the most highest quality educators in our schools. So we began a series of job fairs. Those multiple job fairs have done just that, attracted the best and the brightest to our school district, and we are excited about that process continuing as well. We have some individuals we'll present to the board even on tonight for hiring. Along with hiring the best and the brightest, the community said we want to keep our great teachers. They said we've noticed that we have them for a period of time and they may not stay with us. So we wanted to not only recruit, we want to focus on retention. And we put some things in place like our new teacher induction program. That question came up over and over. Support in the schools at the teacher level, teacher opportunity for leadership. There were just many different ideas that came out of those focus meetings. So as we see here this year, we have a retention rate for our certified employees of 84%. Not bad at all, but we want to continue to work on that and push it up forward into the 90s. And our classified employees retention rate currently is at 92%. So we're going to continue to build on that as well. Then the focus was, we heard even from the board, and from community members, saying, you know, there are a lot of different opportunities to partner in our community, locally and in our region. Let's build some partnerships. And those partnerships we began to develop to improve our operations, to increase our student achievement, to help expand career opportunities, job placement, and professional training for our students. Here's just a sample of the partnerships that we began. We began a partnership with Kelly Education Services in order to assist us in identifying and providing substitute teachers. When I got here, we were still in the high spread period of COVID-19, and substitute teachers were very hard to come by. But they helped us to increase that pool to now over 90 applicants having applied for those positions here in Twiggs County, over 45 interviewed, and we also hired some very high-need school nutrition substitutes through that partnership as well. Proximity learning. When we came to the school district, we had some vacancies that were not filled and some hard-to-fill positions in terms of science, special education. Through this partnership with Proximity Learning, we were able to hire 6 online instructors. These are certified teachers, and they have been and still are instructing students in the classroom, but they also gave us an expansion of opportunities to do some small group and one-on-one tutoring with students who need it as well. We also were named as a new grantee by Emory University and the Georgia Department of Education to start and bring a school-based health center here in Twiggs County Public Schools. We're very excited about that. There's a Johnson Wood Foundation study that came out in 2020 that indicated that the health factors in our community were, out of the 159 counties, we were at 159. So we knew that we wanted to contribute to improving the health factors for our students, for our community, for our staff. And by doing so, this school-based health center will help us to address those needs, because we know healthy students make successful students, and it is a barrier that we can help to remove by establishing our school-based health center. We are well on the way on getting that started. We partnered with United Way, and they're here in the room with us on tonight. That partnership started with United Way, and we did that in order to, of course, bring United Way into the community with their Read United program. And that Read United program actually serves to provide teachers, for community members who will serve as tutors, for our students in our classrooms. So JES, our elementary school, has the AARP Foundation Experience Corps, community members, those who are 50 years old and older. That's what that group is. Those are tutors who are 50 years old and older, and they come every week and meet with their students. They read to them. They help to build their literacy skills with the first, second, and third graders. And you can see there with the chart right next to it, we're having outstanding success. The beginning and the middle of the year, results have been strong, and we are expecting the end of the year goals to be reached as well. Another partnership that we're proud of is we continue to hear from our students that they wanted more opportunities. And we heard from teachers as well say that they want kids who are different to be able to get different experiences. Everybody's not the same. Everybody doesn't want the same subjects. Everybody doesn't want to go to college. Some people want to go to vocational school. So we built a relationship and a partnership with Hutchins College and Career Academy, and we expanded our 4 career pathways at Twiggs County High School to now 13 career pathways for our students through that partnership. We are very excited about that opportunity for our students on this year to enroll in those pathways of their choice at Hutchins College and Career Center, and they will have an opportunity to begin that as early as the fall of next year. Our community said we want to keep our facilities look good, our grounds look good, but we want to make sure our schools have the best quality equipment. We want to upgrade our schools and Our Board of Education and the community supported us with a 5-year SPLOS that'll end on 2025. And that 5-year SPLOS, I don't know, there you go. That 5-year SPLOS afforded us the opportunity to continue to do some upgrades here in our community. We did, in our school system, we upgraded the HVAC system. We built and finished this beautiful board and professional learning room that we're in. We did new lighting, new painting here at central office and in the schools. We purchased new band equipment and instruments, as well as uniforms for our teams. We're very excited about that opportunity to improve our facilities and our equipment. Not only that, we work with our community to also begin the initiation and the first recreational department in Twiggs County. Twiggs County doesn't have a recreational department. So as a result of not having a recreational department, we wanted to partner, and we did partner with them in order to allow our schools and our facilities to be used for that very purpose. So we signed an MOU earlier in the fall and gave that opportunity for the county to begin working with our children in a recreational sense, because many of our students don't get an opportunity to participate in athletic events until they get to the middle school. But by doing this partnership, they get an opportunity to participate and have that connection even in the elementary age. Most recently, we also developed a partnership with Academy Sports and Outdoors. We are very excited about this partnership as well. One of the pathways at College and Career Academy is the logistics and distribution pathway. And Academy Sports has signed an MOU, an agreement with Twiggs, to be our company, the major company that helps train our students in distribution and logistics. Our students will get training from Central Georgia Technical College in that area and in that pathway by professors from that particular college, but Academy Sports will send their executives and their staffs to give that live demonstration and on-the-job experience for what they learn at Central Georgia Technical College. And we're very excited about that, because that is going to provide our students with job training immediately when they graduate, not even graduate, let me just say, because I believe we have 6 students who are already employed at Academy Sports as seniors. It provides employment opportunities and career development opportunities for them. We developed a partnership with one of Twiggs' very own alumni at our high school, as well as a native of Jeffersonville, Mr. Darquez Denard. He reached out to me and to the school district when I became superintendent and said that he wanted to give back and he wanted to take his experience and expose our young men to opportunities that they might otherwise not be exposed to. So he brought his 7-on-7 football tournament back to Twiggs County, and just recently he presented us with a proposal to rebuild the athletic department. If I heard it once, I heard it 15 times at our community events. Rebuild our athletic program, rebuild our athletic program. Well, I tell you, Mr. Denard stepped up and gave us a commitment of a generous donation of $30,000 to purchase new weight room equipment for our student athletes and our physical education department, and we're grateful for his support. And last but not least, we developed and deepened our relationship with the Georgia Department of Education. And what you see there in the middle is their process of continuous district improvement. They came out on March the 17th and did a district review process. They went into every classroom, learning loss specialists observed every teacher. They did focus groups with teachers, administrators, students. They looked at our data. They looked at the documents that we're using. And they, from doing that full district review, provided us with commendations, recommendations, next steps, and offered their support in the continuous development process for our school district. So we are grateful for the partnership with the Georgia Department of Education in improving teaching and learning in our school district. We're celebrating this school year as well for all of the student achievement that has happened in our school system. We put some things in place that our community and our board said that we needed, which were ways to assess our students' performance in math and in other subjects. So that's what you see there with iReady and DRC Beacon. We implemented those formative assessments in our school district, and they have proven to give us that data that we need. But we've also had some achievement in the state spelling bee, our beta club, we have a star student in our district, and a internationally recognized ROTC program. Mrs. Aquadre Coley participated in the state spelling bee, and right here from Twiggs County, our star student for Twiggs County, Mr. Marcus Sanford, was named a star student here in Twiggs County. Our ROTC won an international award that gave them worldwide acclaim. And we have our very own Sarah Wright at JES. She was a Young Georgia Author winner. And we have even more than that. This is just a snapshot of the students who have been celebrated this year for their accomplishments. The community said, we continue to want to hear from you. We love you all coming out the way you all have done. Keep this going. Keep the doors open. Keep coming out to us. We really like this. So we've continued to have community involvement. This is just a sample of the community involvement that we've been in. We participated in the Twiggs County Leadership Conference and shared some of the work that we're doing here in the district. We participated in National Day of Prayer and had an opportunity to pray with some of the district leaders for our school district and for the schools in the school system. And most recently, with our partnership with United Way, Twiggs County employees have pledged over $9,000 to give to Twiggs County and Twiggs County families to continue to support them as they continue to support us. I heard our board say, let's find other opportunities to bring funds into our district. I've heard community members say, are there other grants out there that are available for our students? And by George, they are. And we got busy and began writing grants and applying for them. And this is a sample of what we have accomplished. We were able to get a emotional development grant from Resilient Kids of $16,000. We won the L4GA literacy grant, which helped us to provide literacy support in the school and the community. We won the Advanced CTAE Programs grant for workforce development. That's not all. We also won our school-based health center grant, over $300,000. Mr. Bastley led the writing of the technology enhancement grant, where we got Chromebooks for every home, for every student. We also won the Communities in Schools Boost grant, which is building opportunities out of school time, which is an after school and summer school program grant of $64,000 for JES. And we also won $46,000 homeless children youth grant, where we can provide new clothes, school supplies, personal items for families and children that may find themselves homeless at some time. And the personalized initiative, we were identified by the Georgia Department of Education to start with the personalized learning initiative in the state, and they're providing all of the funding for that training and that support. A grand total of over $1.3 million just this school year of additional grants and funds that have been brought into our school district through the work of this dynamic staff. Here are some other fiscal improvements that we've made to ensure that we are being good stewards of our funds. We partnered with SES in Medicaid reimbursements, where we'll save $55,000 in Medicaid services for our special ed students. We maximize our FTE funding of over $125,000, and our fund balance, which is our piggy bank for the school district, is very healthy, with almost $850,000 in our reserves. We started, after we got all of this information that we've learned from the board, from the community, from our students, we started our 5-year strategic planning process. And we partnered with Education Elements to help to facilitate that process. In that process, with the input from stakeholders, from every aspect of our community, we've begun the development of a very comprehensive strategic plan that will guide the work of our school system for the next 5 years. We are planning to reveal that strategic plan to our board and to our community at our next board meeting. But this is just a preview of what that strategic plan will look like in the forward face of our strategic plan. You see there to the left, doesn't that look like Twigs? The basketball, Ms. Jenkins, our wonderful band, our graduates, some of our scholars. And what you see there next to that is the process that we use to gather information and data. Over 70 staff members engaged, over 91 days of engagement, over 50 students, 17 focus groups, and over 140 participants in those focus groups, and 8 strategy sessions were used to gather information and data in order to develop the focus areas and the initiatives that we're going to start with in our strategic plan. So this is what we're going to focus on in order to reach our vision. We're going to focus on learning and wellness for all, which means that we're going to focus on every child and how they need to learn and what we need to do for each individual to serve them. Excellence ahead in our academics and our facilities and our opportunities. We're going to be and set the bar of excellence in this community here at this school district for setting the bar of excellence, for providing meaningful opportunities for our students. We're going to do things the Twigs way. Twigs not like Wilkinson. Twigs not like Dublin. Twigs is not like Macon. Twigs is not like any place but Twigs. And we are going to focus on our students, our community, and provide the support for the unique needs that we have right here in Twigs. We're going to do things the Twigs way. And we're going to continue to grow and sustain our village, making sure we're developing our academic program with all of our professionals as well, and make sure that we are a premier first organization by leveraging all of the strengths that we have in our school system. Make sure we use those high-performing teachers as mentors. Make sure we bring induction programs together to place. Make sure our custodians as well as our teachers have leadership training and leadership opportunities. These are the things that we're going to focus on because these are the areas that we have learned from our community that are most important. So what's next? We have done all of this work for the last 12 months. And what's next? We're going to begin, again, as I stated, to share this strategic plan with our board and with our community, with every internal and external stakeholder. And in doing so, we'll begin preparing for our re-accreditation process through Cognia, which used to be called Advanced Ed, because we'll be re-accrediting in FY23 school year. And this is our strategy. Step 1, communicate our 5-year strategic plan. We'll communicate those key measures to our stakeholders. Step 2, we'll begin the aligning of all of the processes and practices to that strategic plan so that we can successfully implement those initiatives. We'll begin preparing our Cognia re-accreditation by doing our self-assessment at every school and in every department with those new 30 standards. And number 4, we'll begin implementing. We'll monitor our progress, measure our success, and making adjustments as necessary in order to reach our desired goals. Board of Education, I want to thank you for your support for this last 12 months. We have accomplished a lot. Our school district has a lot to be proud of, and the best is yet to come. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Dr. Bullitt, on behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you. We celebrated you just one day before your 1-year anniversary, and everyone was not here to hear the great things that the board and the community had to say about you. But I want to reassure our district and our board that we are doing the work, and the work is being done. I want to take an opportunity also to acknowledge our senior cabinet. Can we give our senior cabinet a round of applause? So listen, there is no senior cabinet day. There's no Senior Cabinet Appreciation Day, but I do believe that as your check clears once a month, we say thank you. But it's always good to hear thank you from the people who get the work done. Dr. Bullock could not do all this work on his own. And with the exception of one of our ads to Senior Cabinet, everyone was here, and Dr. Bullock inherited this team. That means you were doing something to stay. As a new superintendent enters into a district, it is up to him who continues as he makes recommendations to the board. And we knew that some people were doing the work, Mr. Mike, and we knew some people may need to polish up a little bit. And I believe that Dr. Bullock has put that into place. I want to say thank you, as you have to stay here with us late nights, early mornings. He don't let you come in a little late when we stay until 11:30. I did learn that. But listen, we have work to do. We have a lot of work to do, but we have done some amazing work. I wear it on my chest everywhere I go. I'm from Twigs, and I'm Twigs made. But as a board member, I want to tell Dr. Bullock that it's not easy work. I know what you inherited. I know your plans. You have shared those with the board. We want to assure you to continue doing the work. Continue with the fast pace. Continue, as sometimes the board seems a little slow. Well, yeah, it takes a little time. It takes a while every now and then. We all have our ways, but in business and in education, it does take a little time to mend over some things, and we've done that. And I am proud of the work that has gone forth this year, and the best is yet to come. Continue to do what you're doing. Thank you, Tweaks County, and thank you, Dr. Bullock. Well, since Dr. Bullock has taken up half a board meeting, y'all can start making y'all way to the podium. As you have an agenda like I do, we can keep rolling. At this time, we'll move to business agenda item B. This is a presentation of finance software vendors being presented by our CFO and Assistant Superintendent, Mr. James Austin. Good evening, Mr. Austin.
Good evening. Board Chair, Vice Chair, board members, Superintendent Dr. Bullard, constituents in person and virtually. One of the cons of having a dynamic leader like Dr. Bullard is that you may have to come behind him at times, so I will try my best. We are talking about the finance software presentation. Our district has done a phenomenal job for about 23 years with our current software. As it's edging toward a traditional retirement, we seek opportunities to improve our infrastructure, our business processes. And this is a key ingredient to financial transparency. As we end off CARES and we go into other grants, we need to see and be able to have more dynamic reporting. And it does align with our mission and vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. We will be successful if we do these things: enhance understanding of our current problem, increase our awareness of our current situation, learn the workflow improvement areas, understand the rubric, focus areas, able to interpret the cost of vendor quotes, provide the opportunity to discuss the return on investment, and improve the clarity on next steps leading up to an approval. What is our problem? Our current accounting software system is not supporting our progressive needs of Twigs County Public Schools. It causes us to do a lot of manual and intensive labor as we address the forever changing needs for our students, the administration, local and state board reporting needs. Also, there are a lot of limitations within this system, and it has created a lot of inefficiencies, which cost us a lot of hours on our day-to-day job, and also could create duplicated efforts or have a disconnect in information. As we closely examine our current situation, we do use PC Genesis, which is a state-provided software. It is a free software they have provided since the 80s to school districts, but it does lack a lot of key features available in the marketplace on today. It has allowed us to, at times, become frustrated with its processes. If more than one person is in a certain module, one may be kicked out and have to wait until that person finishes, or there are certain things that we cannot necessarily talk to each other with other softwares. We have to import, export spreadsheets, opposed to having all the information that runs our district in one place. So workflow improvement area 1, budget development. Our budget process over the past years has really progressed and grown, and I think we're in a great place. And to continue to improve that budgeting process, this will allow us to take the time that we go through and really intensify our efforts and provide us an opportunity to do additional things to grow in that particular area. So we have to rekey a lot of the information that I present that's in the spreadsheet into the accounting system, and there are a lot of other data reporting things with PC Genesis that requires a lot of manual time and effort after the budget is approved. Workflow improvement area 2, paperless purchasing. We have a very nice board office, and we do get our steps in once the PO is created, because if it needs to walk from this end of the building to the finance office to another department to the schools, we do get our exercise with that. And it's a paperless process. It is a paper-intensive process. And so that's a lot of printing. That's a lot of malfunction and wear and tear on our RICO supplies. Also, it's hard for us to determine if one person writes a PO in an office and we're ready to make an additional purchase, what money is already encumbered, meaning that someone has anticipated on spending those funds, or they have a plan that has not reached the finance office. So this system allows us to see that information real time. Workflow area 3, payroll and HR. We do pride ourselves on ensuring people are paid on time and their check clear every month. So this does improve that process with efficiency. And the key part is that it talks directly to our HR department and record keeping. Currently, we have separate softwares that do separate functions for HR and not per se feed into our current payroll system. So that will save us tremendous time, effort, and everyone who needs to see that data has that opportunity to because of the integrations. Like everything in education, we have rubrics. And I sent out the rubric to senior cabinet and other team members today that will be looking at the software that has looked at a lot of the vendors that we've vetted in this process. And the rubric is based on 5 areas: report generation, business process, modules and functionality, system integration, and the total cost of ownership. So they have the opportunity to look at all the documentation I put into a Google Drive and make the best determination on what software will serve our needs, best serve our needs. So timeline. This is not something that we woke up in the business and finance department and other areas and said, hey, we need new software. Since day one in 2018, since I came to Twigs, we looked at opportunity to improve efficiencies, but it took time. We had some other things we need to improve on. Increase our transparency. We have no audits findings currently. So we had a lot of business process thing to work out before we add new things. We had to clean up the old. And so we're in a great position now. We've been working on this process since October of 2021. Our first demonstration started. February to March, we started to receive quotes from vendors and go through that process. We began to see multiple demonstrations from those vendors. And from April to June, we will grade through, actually go through the rubric process, which has started on today and will be turned in on Friday. The recommendation on the top vendors will be made to senior cabinet. We'll review the contracts to ensure that we're not getting to something that would be detrimental down the line. We are doing reference checks. I had an opportunity to go to Gaines, which is a finance conference on last week, and had the chance to speak with live users of both products. And so I am pleased we have a very intensive process to ensure we're making the right decision. And also with Infinite Campus, we want to make sure that the data that we use for our reporting of our classified and certified staff, that it meets all of our state reporting needs. So we have vetted that process as well in the April through June timeline. So our vendors is Harris School Solution and Tyler Technologies. Harris School Solution has a product called Smart Fusion, and Tyler Technology has a product called Infinite Visions. So Tyler Technology, again, this is a categorical breakdown of the key functions we'll need. So from accounting to applicant tracking, employee reimbursement modules, we have all of the things that we will need to continue to be successful in this particular quote. In yellow or gold, rather, at the bottom, that circle, that's the annual amount that is proposed, and that is of $29,400 $435. They did give us a $4,000 discount on our annual fee for the next 3 years. As we continue forward, you do have implementation fees, which is a one-time fee that will take place over 3 fiscal years if approved in this fiscal year. And that fee is $59,850 for the implementation. So we're looking at total $89,285. And we'll continue the annual fee of $29,435 after everything is approved, if we decide to go with Tyler Technologies. Harris Solutions, their end number comes out to $82,053.62. Now, in their quote, they did not provide the annual cost, so we performed a cost analysis, and we determined that their annual cost is $32,665.65. So about a $4,000, $3,000 difference between the two on annual cost. So what is our return on investment? Where are we going to get the money? How this going to work? Is this a real investment, or is this just another software? Well, we have identified a few things. We had a payroll vacancy that took place in September 2021. We did not fill that vacancy. So we have that line item in our budget that has allowed us to do this type of work. Secondly, we are confident in our current staff and the things that we're doing, that this software can help leverage us not having to hire an additional person to fulfill some of these needs. So that cost saving alone pays for the program. Additional cost savings will come with man hours. Our staff is not having to work as many hours to do some of the similar functions, so we are creating more efficiencies, which leads to us to perform in other areas. So we're very confident that our return on investment is an immediate return due to us not filling the vacancy and the hours that our staff will get back. Next steps is that we will seek board approval on May 10th. Provide information to the Board of Education, which we're doing tonight, and we'll have board approval on May 24th, 2022, if it's the board pleasure. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chair. So who will have access to the system, actually? The teachers, the administrators, who will have?
It's a good question. There will be limited access to quite a few users. So when I say limited, if the principals wanted to see their budget areas, they will only be able to see their responsibility area, for example. If a teacher puts in a purchase order, they'll be able to see their workflow or where their PO is going. If for example, if they're submitting employee reimbursement, they'll be able to see that information. They'll be able to see all their contracts, W-2 information, check stubs. So everyone will have access to the system, but it'll be based upon what role and what decision-making authority that person has.
So you would be making that final decision on, say if you had 2 or 3 purchase order coming in, you'll be the one to make that decision on whether the funds be utilized or not?
So the software has a lot of stopgaps. So once we put the budget in, once that PO goes in, it automatically tells them whether they can even they have the money to pay for it or not. So before I even get involved, they will have a pause to say, hey, it's no money there, you need override approval to make this purchase. So that's one implementation that we have in these 2 softwares. Depends on what the money is. If it's a grant, it will go through the grant coordinators to make that final determination. I will see all of the POs that go through the system, but each grant coordinating department head will make that final decision if it belongs to the department.
Great questions, board.
One more thing. What other school districts are using this software?
So with Tyler Technologies, they have about 41 school systems that use a combination of Munis and Infinite Visions. So I do have a list of all those schools in the district. Smart Fusion, they're about the same, about 40. So a good portion of the school districts are using both of these vendors. Everyone else is either on PC Genesis or on an older model of Harris Solutions. So they're still in their upgrade process, but they have a large footprint, both of these vendors in the
And
state.
you'll still be using the PC Genesis too, correct? Or this would take the place of the PC?
So that's a great question. So part of our risk strategy is PC Genesis is free, so it doesn't cost us anything to maintain it.
State.
The server is still here. We have a lot of money tied up in the server. I don't believe in throwing money away. So all that data will still be here. And if anything crazy happens, it's very unlikely, we still can go by the PC Genesis and run payroll and
Still
perform
have
the functions. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Austin,
Yes, ma'am.
which of the two would you like? It's better for you. I'm just asking for that.
Great question. I told the team this morning I would not be biased, and I wanted this process to have integrity and not to lead them somewhere. But I would say that I do like Infinite Visions because of the dashboard view. It gives leadership the opportunity to see where the district is at a glance. So if I need to go in and say, hey, you overspending here, why is this PO still out here? I have that functionality with Tyler Technology. So for that reason, I would prefer that software.
Tyler? Because you said that it gives everybody the opportunity to look and see the reason why it's not approved or whatever for the item.
Yes, ma'am. So we can make a note to say, hey, it's over, the coding is wrong, and we eliminate a lot of that counting errors too, because we dictate the codes, and they'll just have to select which codes is applicable to what they're doing. So we make that process easier for the people that are purchasing. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Board members, does that conclude our questions for Mr. Austin on this presentation? He probably has about 4 more. Business agenda item C, budget overview, number 2. This is an information item again being presented by our CFO, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. James Austin.
Yes, sir. I think this is my last one this time. Good evening again, board. The protocol has already been established. As we look at budget overview number 2, the plan for the budget carries to at least see the budget 3 to 4 times before an approval is made. So this is our second progressive lens of the budget and some of the things that we're going to look at. We'll really dive into function level so that you understand the functions and some of the things that those functions could possibly fund. We are confident that it's aligning to our vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. So some of the considerations that we're looking at is TRS, which is our teacher retirement system. Our share, the employer share, is increasing to 19.98% from 19.81%. The health benefits for classified and certified personnel will remain the same at $11,340. You all as a board graciously and unanimously approved the increases in our state and all our rest of our schedules, so that consideration of the 5%, 4.5% COLA adjustment, and also our minimum wage increasing to $10 is here in this budget, so we will fund those initiatives as well. Other budget considerations, per the state and the Georgia Accounting Office, the QBE formula is fully funded in FY23. They did have an austerity reduction with COVID. However, they have restored that austerity in FY23, so we will receive about $100,000 back into our QB allotment. We do not plan on increasing the tax millage rate. It's been 16.6 for about 10 years. So property value has increased over time, so naturally we receive an increase without actually increasing the millage rate, which is a good opportunity for Twigs. The CARES Act will still be a dynamic factor for continuity of staff and other priorities of the district. Our student FTE did decrease to 680 from 693 in our midterm reports. Our teacher allotment, as a consequence of the FTE decreasing, did decrease to 41.57 from 42.37 in FY22. We did receive our QBE revenue dollars and what that amount will be for FY23, and that's $3,685,000 $3,685,385. Too many fives, excuse me. Other budget priorities, we are funding the salary increases and step raises. We do plan to fund the investment for an 8-passenger van for transportation of our exceptional needs students. Fund the completion of the school zone project. As you've seen, that we are doing a lot of things to improve the aesthetics and the pride, to show that visible pride of Twist County Public Schools. So we'll continue to carry that mission out. We'll fund the leadership and merit-based incentives that we presented in our salary compensation package. Also fund the Leadership Academy for classified personnel, which is very dear to me because we provide a lot of opportunities for certified staff, but we want to ensure that our classified staff have that opportunity for leadership as well in our district. Fund the startup cost of a system-wide based accounting software, which we just presented over. So as we go through the functions, we are charged to budget by function. And so function 1000 is instruction. This is instruction included activities dealing with the interaction between teachers and students. So our teachers, instructional supplies and technology related services for exceptional needs students. The counselors, tech specialists, and travel are things that are funded out of instructional function. People services 2100 are activities designed to access and improve the well-being of students and to supplement the learning process. This includes our school nurse, athletic supplements, clerical support, supplies, software, and tech supplies. 2210 is improvement of instructional services. This is activities which are designed primarily for assisting instructional staff in planning, developing, and evaluating the process of providing challenging learning experiences for students. So our IT staff, technology repairs, travel for technology-related functions, technology supplies, software, dues and fees are included in this function. The educational media services 2220, activities concerned with directing, managing, and operating educational media centers, including our school libraries, audio-visual services, and educational television. Media specialists, media clerk, books, software, and supplies. 2300, general administration. This is concerned with the establishing and administering of policies for operating the district. So here's your superintendent, your board members, assistant superintendents, HR director, executive assistant, travel, board travel, and software. 2400 is the school level administration. So these are activities concerned with the overall administrative responsibility for schools. Principals, assistant principals, clerical staff, supplies, tech supplies, and software. 2500 is the business department, support services, activities concerned with the fiscal operation, including budgeting, financial and property accounting, payroll, inventory control, internal auditing, and managing of funds. So here's your accounting staff, clerical staff that supports, supplies, tech supplies, software, funding and finance software, consulting, audit fees, and dues and fees. What we call M&O, or maintenance and operations, activities concerned with keeping the physical plant open, comfortable, and safe for use. So here are the custodial staff, maintenance staff. Some of our directors and executive directors have multiple departments they're responsible for, so you may see them in 2600 and 2700 because they serve both areas. So we have directors and executive directors there. Contracted services, supplies, utilities, got to keep the lights on, and dues and fees. 2700 transportation. So this talks about us getting students to and from school, and also any school-related activities such as field trips and etc. So here's our bus drivers, bus monitors, directors and executive director, repair and maintenance for the buses, utilities, and also funding the 8-passenger van. We have a world-class PR and communication department, and the Charter of Accounts allows for us to have support services for our central office staff specifically relating to PR and communications. So here you have the PR and communication personnel supplies and software to support that department. And last but not least, other support services, things that are not classified in the other series of functions that we talked about, and we have dues and fees and other expenditures. And this is normally our smaller function, 15 to 20,000 most times. So what are our next steps? So we're going to present the budget overview number 3, which will talk more about revenue expenditures and the true framework of the budget and what our funds will look like for next year. We will present a tentative budget for fiscal year 2023 in our next steps. We have to have 2 public hearings, and it has to be on the agenda that we provide an opportunity for the public to provide input, and the budget doesn't have to be tentatively approved. It can happen before. So my proposal is to do it May 24, 2022 and June 14th, 2022, and present the final budget for approval on June 28th, 2022. Are there any questions?
What were your dates again? You said 6/24?
Those dates are May 24th, 2022, June 14th, and then final approval on June 28th.
Okay.
Mr. Austin, our final budget approval date for June 28th, 2022. A little close, isn't it? A little tight to July 1.
Well, we have flexibility. That's just a tentative outline because I'm 95% done. So if we need to push it up for comfort, I'm at the superintendent's, you all pleasure with that.
Board members, do you have any questions for Mr. Austin? Dr. Bullard, it is my recommendation that we move the final budget approval date up to June 14. Any board members have any questions or concerns for that date? I'll give you my rationale. Come to the final budget presentation for approval on June 28th and it didn't get approved, what do? We go into executive session for a call meeting and we prolong the time and we have the senior cabinet here for another 24 hours. No, we're gonna move smart this time. We're not gonna work as hard, all right? Mr. Austin, do you have any concerns for that date?
No, sir, I can make it work.
All right, we thank you. You've done it how many years now?
4.
You keep making it work.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyone have any concerns about that date? Seeing none, Mr. Austin, we'll accept this as information item tonight, and we will look for a date change from Dr. Bullock by way of Ms. Collins, so that we'll know that we'll be approving on June 14th.
Sure.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Austin. Business agenda item D. This is a graduation update. Information item being presented by Dr. Griffin Stewart, Assistant Superintendent of our district. Good evening, Dr. Griffin Stewart.
Good evening. Good evening, Board Chair Harris.
Proceed.
Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Superintendent Dr. Mac Bullard, all of our stakeholders listening virtually and in person. It brings me great pleasure, with great excitement, to share graduation updates. But before I can share our graduation updates, we are a progressive district. We heard that from our superintendent first, but we are a district with a vision and a mission. Our vision is generating excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. I've almost been here for a year, and it has been my honor to interact with all students in the district, especially the senior class of 2022. I just want to say they are amazing young people with a bright future. So commencement ceremony honoring the class of 2022 will take place on May 27th at 7 p.m. at our Twiggs County Middle High School football stadium. We have 41 graduates this year, and each graduate will receive 15 tickets. And the reason the graduates will receive 15 tickets is just in case of inclement weather. The ceremony will be moved to the gym. 2 tickets will be provided for parents seated on the football field. And then, of course, the ceremony is open for all parents, relatives, and the community. Board members, superintendent, faculty, and staff will lead the procession on the field. So all parties, please report to building 600 by 615. We do have safety guidelines in place, so our safety expectations are face masks will be optional, and we will have 1 security entry point at Jeffersonville Elementary School. Out of those 41 graduates, we have 9 honor graduates. Starting with our valedictorian, Jesse Chang. So Jesse will serve as our valedictorian. Our salutatorian, number 2, is Terica Bond. Honor graduate number 3 is Tiana Woodley. Honor graduate number 4 is Akito Stevens. Honor graduate number 5 is Catherine McKee. Honor graduate number 6 is Keldrick Parks. Honor graduate number 7 is Marcus Sanford. Honor graduate number 8 is Mark Basley. And bringing up the rear, honor graduate number 9 is Desiree Martin. The last page you will see of the PowerPoint is a timeline. I just want to salute the Twiggs County High School of the intentional timeline for the graduation proceedings. So you will see in the timeline right now, we're on senior verification, and we're moving swiftly through this timeline. So you'll have a chance, if you haven't already, to explore that a little more during executive session. Also during executive session, you will have a short one-pager of the cohort information for this class, of when they entered, how many students were a part of the class, and where those students are located, the ones who are not on our roll for those 41. But again, I want to say congratulations in advance to the class of 2022. And again, these are some great young people that I've had an opportunity and the pleasure, the humble pleasure, to work with this year, and they are awesome. And our seniors, our graduating class, they are going places, and they're gonna make us proud. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I want to take the opportunity to give a round of applause to our graduating class of 2022. One of the first things Dr. Griffin Stewart shared with us when she got here was, you have some interesting students, and they are excited, and they will tell you just about anything. And that is certainly the truth. This class is very special to me. This is the last class when I was employed, Dr. Bullitt, by Communities and Schools. This is the last class that I service. But this class is very special and dear to the community. They just have a abundance of excitement. Mr. Mike, on Friday, when the weather got a little crazy, they said, we ain't gonna be able to go to Six Flags. What are we gonna do? And so they reached out. This is one thing about this new generation, Mr. Basley. They reached out to the assistant superintendent so she could call the superintendent so that they could go to Six Flags. Now, when I was in high school, you didn't do that. You know them folks' phone number. You didn't know who to call. And that's one of the things that we can celebrate about our scholars. They have resources and they know how to use them. And that's one thing that I admire about this generation. So if we continue to keep doing the work they will have access to everything that they need because they can go anywhere from Twig. So I'm excited. This is a good time of the year where celebrations are vast. So if you don't see us at everything, Mr. Rouse, we'll try to be at the most of them. But we will certainly be at graduation and ready to celebrate. So thank you for making the connection with the class, and thank you for the work that you're doing as we want to continue to build relationships throughout our district, because everything, there's a ship, fellowship, relationship, and there has to be a kinship in Twiggs County. Thank you, Dr. Griffin Stewart.
All right. Thank you, Board Chair Harris.
Business agenda item E. This is the high school canopy estimates. This is information from our Director of Operations, Mr. Tyrone Bacon. Good evening.
Good evening, Chairman Harris,
Proceed.
Vice Chairman Rouse, board members, Dr. Bullard, Superintendent, Twiggs County Schools, and everyone here this evening joining us. I'd like to give the board an update on the bus canopy purchase update. But first, we are a district generating excellence, one team, one goal, with the mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. So on February 10th, a teacher's truck and trailer drove into the bus ramp canopy. The canopy was destroyed beyond repair. The canopy was dismantled and moved to the bus shop immediately due to safety concerns. The district filed a claim against the vehicle's owner's insurance policy. The insurance company that was then, the insurance company has paid a total of $50,000 to resolve the claim. The vendor estimates. So prior to, the board approved for the expenditure of no greater than $46,943, which was the Pittman-Waller bid. We had another additional bid come in that we were waiting for from Lex Parish Construction, which was $66,173. We went with the lower bidder, Pittman-Waller and Company. So this is the cost breakdown. The canopy replacement, $46,000. The demolition cost us $2,500 for a total of $49,442. The insurance payment, which we have in hand, $50,000, leaving a remaining balance of $557. The replacement has already commenced on April 27th, and due to some parts having to, supply chain issues, we're looking for that to be finished right around graduation. So that is our hope that will be up. We do have a canopy out there on the high school side and the long canopy going across, so there is still adequate protection for students. Are there any questions?
Mr. Bacon, I was sharing with someone that when we get back to school, Dr. Bullitt, I want to have a little celebration after we have some training and some workshops so the board can meet and greet our new staff. I kind of want to have it in that area, so we'll talk more about it, but thank you. It's always a party in Tweeds, isn't that right, Ms. Jenkins? We have something to celebrate. Thank you for getting this work done, and it'll be done before our kickoff for our new school year. So we're planning some things. We appreciate the work that you're doing. Get it up so we won't get wet.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. No more questions for Mr. Bacon. We'll move on to our next business agenda item. This is item F, Jeffersonville Elementary Adjunct Cleaning Results Report. Another information item being presented by our Director of Operations, Executive Director of Operations, Ms. Tyrone Bacon.
Thank you once again, Board Chair Harris. Protocol already being said, I want to remind everyone who we are. We're definitely a district generating excellence, one team, one goal, and we want to inspire all of our students to inspire students to challenge them, prepare them to complete globally. So as part of our strategic plan, and one of the main concerns when Dr. Bullock got here on staff was that the air quality. So we've been on a mission to improve the air quality throughout the district at the high school as well as JES. The problems were a little bit more profound at JES, so we've made some major investments to make sure that we are combating that problem head on and making sure that our students and our teachers have the best quality of air possible. At the March 22nd Board of Education meeting, the board approved $25,000 for duct cleaning services at Jeffersonville Elementary. The cleaning services were performed by Air Quality Systems on April 1st through the 3rd. The vendor provided a pictorial report of what happened, the work that was done, and before and after pictures, and those were provided to you in your board packet for your review. But as you can see, some of the quality work, some of the before and after pictures of ductwork, vents and airways. And you see it's pretty substantial what was done. So this is a process that we intend on repeating once every 5 years. So we're putting that in place. So are there any questions?
Well, listen, nobody better not ever say that we don't have good air circulating through our buildings. We hear about ducts and air, and that's a good thing. We have some good air quality. So listen, don't nobody get sick and say it came from Twigs, because I'm gonna send Mr. Bacon at you, because he cleaning some air ducts. We spending some money to get something done, but we appreciate you and the work that you do. Yeah.
They better not say it.
They better not say that, Mr. Bacon. We have to go toe-to-toe on that one. Seeing no questions from Mr. Bacon, thank you, Mr. Bacon, for the work that you're doing. And
Do you think every 5 years would be soon enough?
That is the recommendation of the vendor, as well as all of our HVAC, of the cleaning vendor, as well as all of our HVAC vendors, every 5 years.
Well, I know Mo can grow real fast.
Well, so we do also have, in our meeting, it came up, but we've improved our filter quality from MERV 8 to MERV 13 to combat COVID. So that's combating a lot of the issues that we had previously. And those filters cost us almost 200 times more. So you think about how many filter changes. So the district is making a substantial investment in the everyday regular maintenance of our air system.
thank you, Mr. Bacon. All right, our next business agenda item is the weight room renovation estimates and timeline. Oh, it's you tonight, not Mr. Austin. This is an action item being presented by Mr. Bacon. Good evening again, Mr. Bacon.
Thank you, Board Chair Harris. Once again, we're here this evening to talk about the weight room air conditioning approval. Our vision, one team, one goal, and we're going to inspire, challenge, and prepare all our students to compete globally. So as we talked about in our last board meeting, through the generosity of Mr. Denard, we are going to be getting a new Dynabody weight room, and we're going to not put new wine in old wineskin, so we're going to do some renovations. So the renovation, itemized renovation costs that we went through totaled to be over $46,445. But the one that we're here to talk about tonight for approval is the air conditioning system. It's, the estimate is $27,345. And to remind everyone, there was no air conditioning system in the weight room at all. It was equipped with an exhaust system. And as part of our strategic plan, we are going to improve the quality of life throughout the district. So our procurement policy is as follows. In accordance with the board policy, all purchases more than $25,000 must be authorized by the Twiggs County Board of Education. Tonight, we are seeking the approval of the purchase of the air conditioning system for the Twiggs County weight room at a cost of $27,345. This will be funded from SPLOST. Are there any questions?
Board members, we've heard the presentation from Mr. Bacon. Dr. Bullock, what is your recommendation?
Board Chair Harris and board members, I recommend that you approve the cost for the air conditioning system in the weight room at the Twiggs County High School that's presented by Mr. Bacon.
Thank you, Dr. Bullock. Board members, we've heard the presentation, we've heard the recommendation. May I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation as presented before us tonight?
I move on that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chair Rouse has properly made that motion. Ms. Shirley Stokes has seconded that motion. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye. Raising your hand to approve this motion. Aye. Any opposes? No opposes. That motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Bacon. We've come to the end of our journey. Business agenda item H. This is district requests and celebrations being presented by our superintendent, Dr. Matt Bullard. And this is an action item, as well as we will accept our celebrations with laughter, clapping, and piece of encouragement to continue the great work that we're doing in our district. Dr. Bullard.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, board members. Prior to going to district requests, I'm going to ask our Ms. Timms if she would come forward. And we have a celebration tonight with one of our partners. And I want her to give her the opportunity to introduce them and allow this celebration to go forward.
Wonderful. Board Chair, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Dr. Bullard, and to our community in person and virtually. It is certainly my honor to stand and have this opportunity. There was a gentleman in Atlanta, he was known as the happy preacher. I want to be known as the happy cabinet member because I love to bring good news. Dr. Bullard tasked us with starting a workplace United Way campaign. And I thought to myself, this ain't gonna work. But board members, you would be happy to know that you have hired educators that love this community. And they don't just accept a check here, they put their money where their mouth is. So tonight, we're gonna call United Way up and they're gonna give us the grand total of what Twiggs County has contributed back to this community. 100% will come back to this community, and we will announce our winning campus who raised the most money in our workplace campaign. United Way, would you come?
Good evening. Good evening. When we first came here to the gymnasium to do the United Way Workplace campaign with Twiggs County Public Schools, one thing that I can tell you guys is there was an energy that we experienced, and that energy has continued to happen. Even in here when we walked in this evening and the music that was playing was a spiritual energy, and when we were in the gym, it was just different. It was a celebration. It was a team working together. I see the mission, the vision, and you guys live it every day. You exemplify what you say. So I want to say thank you so much for the partnership. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in and provide some insight as to how United Way tries to help the community. But we can't do what we do without you. And so I want to say thank you so much from United Way of Central Georgia. You also have an alumni right here that works at United Way. And so the first thing we want to do is reveal the title, and I will tell you that Ms. Timms gave us some more money walking through the door, so the actual total is $9,325. And the school who won, you guys ready to find out?
Drum roll.
Is Jeffersonville Elementary School. We are super excited. You guys won, but everybody won at the end of the day. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for the energy. Thank you so much for taking the challenge and being successful with the challenge. And Dr. Bullard, we also have a special gift for you. And you have to come and open this right now.
Right now?
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
And we'd like to have everybody to come up with the faculty that's here so we can take a picture with the check. And we publish this on our Facebook, on social media, so people in the community across the 14 counties that we serve can see our partners and see the work in progress. So we'd love to get a photo of you guys as well. And the board, please, if you guys would come down as well.
And while they're coming, I'm asked Dr. Bullard to present the award to Jeffersonville Elementary School. That beautiful trophy behind them.
She don't mind asking, right?
Thank you so much. Board Chair, Vice Chair, board members, we do have, and I want to congratulate JES. You know, they have a very competitive spirit.
Yes,
over
Lord.
there.
Absolutely.
You know, I tell you, so they are the foundation of Cobra Nation. So I love the fact that they have a fighting spirit that just continues to go right on up through the school system and walk across the stage one day as Cobras. So I do have district request and facility request, field trip request that I'd like to get your approval on tonight. At JES, the pre-K teachers are interested in taking their students to Hamlin Hills Farm in Forsyth, Georgia on Wednesday, May the 18th from 9 to 2. The students get an opportunity to use all of their senses of sight, touch, hearing, smell, taste, explore the environment, and process information. Also, the pre-K teachers are interested in taking their students to Stevie B's on Thursday, May the 19th. The field trip will start at 8:30. They'll be back by 2:30. And this is, again, for the opportunity for students to celebrate the year and experience job descriptions, different job descriptions such as pizza making and using their 5 senses as well. Ms. Arena Florida and Ms. Woodley are interested in taking the Twiggs County High School Beta Club to the Georgia Aquarium on Thursday, May the 19th. This field trip will leave at 8 a.m. They plan on getting back by 5 p.m. And this is to obtain and evaluate and communicate information and assess the interdependence of all organisms on one another and their environment. Ms. Kilgore, Ms. Oates, Ms. Vinson, and Mr. Stevens are also interested in taking the Twiggs County Middle School Junior Beta Club to their National Junior Beta Club Convention, and this will be at the Gaylord Opryland Resort Convention in Nashville, Tennessee, and that will be Monday, June the 27th through Thursday, June the 30th, and this is to participate in the National Junior Beta Club Convention to explore and utilize their creativity, cooperative team skills, and critical thinking skills. And our 2 facility requests that we have on tonight. Ms. Leah Toney from the Twiggs County Family Connections has asked to utilize the Twiggs County Middle High School Media Center to conduct a blood-borne pathogen and workplace violence prevention course through the Twiggs County Family Connections. And they're asking to utilize the Media Center on Saturday, May the 21st from 9 until 4 p.m. And Ms. Sandra Flowers of the GR Lighthouse Learning Center is asking to utilize the JES cafeteria for their students' stepping up exercises. And they'd like to use the cafeteria. This will be from 5:30 to 7:30 on Wednesday, May the 25th in the JES cafeteria, and also on Thursday, May the 26th from 5 to 8 p.m. And again, this is for the stepping up exercises for their students. That concludes our field trip request and our 2 facility requests.
Board, we've heard the superintendent's recommendations for field trips and facility and property requests. Is it okay if we accept these at once?
Yes.
All right. At this time, I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendations for facility requests and field trips as presented during his presentation.
I make the motion to approve both field trip and facility requests.
Motion has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye. Raising your hand to approve this motion. Aye. Any opposers? No opposers. That motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Dr. Bullard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Dr. Bullard, board members, have we omitted anything on our presented and proposed and approved agenda for tonight's meeting?
No, sir, we have fully covered our agenda.
All right. Seeing no omissions on tonight's agenda, I'll ask for a motion to enter into executive session at this time.
So moved.
Motion been properly made by Ms. Blackshear to enter into executive session. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Rhonda King. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye. Raising your hand. We approve the motion to exit public session and enter into executive session. Aye. Any opposers? No opposers. That motion carries unanimously. Board, community stakeholders, we are now in executive session. Thank you. Good evening again, Tweaks County, to our in-person viewers and our online communities. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for our scheduled board meeting. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to exit executive session and enter into public session.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made by Ms. Shirley Stokes to exit executive session and enter into public session. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Rhonda King. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? That motion carries unanimously. We are now back in public session. In executive session, we have discussed conversations presented by our superintendent in reference to new hires and resignations. At this time, I'll ask the board for a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendations for resignations and all new hires.
So moved.
Motion's been properly made by Ms. King. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye or raising your hand if you approve the motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for all new hires and resignations. Aye. Any opposes? No opposes. That motion carries unanimously. Board, we have exhausted our conversations for tonight in our public session and in executive session. May I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make that motion.
Motion has been happily made by Ms. Stokes. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Vice Chair Rouse. Any discussion? No discussion. I know you by saying aye, raising your hand if you approve the motion for adjournment. Aye. Any opposes? No opposes. That motion carries unanimously. Good night, Tweaks County.